The story begins with Tom walking down a quiet lane when he suddenly bumps into Danny. Danny hands him the mobile phone Tom had asked for earlier. At school, Tom has no interest in studying. His attention is always fixed on Lucy. He has liked her for a long time, but never had the courage to say much. One day after class, Lucy surprises him by walking up and asking for help with science. She admits she's struggling with chemistry and suggests they study together at Charlie's house. Tom is so stunned to see her standing so close that he freezes for a moment, but he quickly agrees. Tom lives with his grandmother, Nasi. That evening, he sits with her while she reads from a novel she has written. Although she is passionate about her work, Tom struggles to stay interested. Soon, he leaves for Charlie's house to meet Lucy, but when he arrives, something feels wrong. Inside, he sees a man lying unconscious on the floor. Before he can react, a group of thugs walk out of a room. They seem to have been recording something. Terrified, Tom turns to run, but one of the men shoots him. The group quickly escapes, leaving him behind. 10 days later, Tom wakes up in a hospital bed. The doctor explains that when he was shot, his phone happened to be near his head. The bullet hit the phone first, and fragments of it entered his skull. Thankfully, the injury wasn't too severe. The doctor warns him to report anything unusual. Tom's first question is about Lucy. Nasi tells him she recovered long ago and has already returned home. On the way back home in a taxi, Tom feels uneasy. The driver keeps staring at him through the mirror. As Tom glances at the meter, a strange sensation rushes through him, and he suddenly faints again. When he wakes up, he is in his own bed. The next morning, Nasi notices his wound seems to be healing faster than expected and encourages him to visit Lucy. Tom takes some flowers and goes to her house. Her brother Ben lets him in. Tom apologizes for not being able to protect her, but Lucy reassures him. She tells him anyone in his place would have done the same. Still, Tom cannot shake the guilt. As he leaves her house, something strange begins to happen. He starts hearing the sounds of nearby electronic devices. It grows louder. He can even hear phone conversations around him. His head spins, and as he walks home, he begins seeing digital-like interfaces floating over electronic devices. Overwhelmed, he faints once more. While unconscious, he clearly sees Eugene's phone in his mind. He realizes Eugene was one of the attackers, and Eugene goes to the same school. When Tom tells Danny, Danny refuses to believe him. At school, Tom tests his strange new ability. When he looks at Eugene, he can read the messages on his phone without touching it. Now he is certain Eugene was involved. Furious, Tom uses his power to overload Eugene's phone, destroying it instantly. That night, Tom attends a party with Danny. Sitting quietly on a sofa, he secretly scans everyone's phones and pieces together the truth about who attacked Lucy. Rage builds inside him. He moves toward Eugene, ready to confront him, but Danny quickly pulls him away. Later, Tom meets Lucy outside. While they talk, he notices Eugene and his gang heading toward the basketball court. Lucy becomes visibly frightened. Seeing her fear, something changes inside Tom. He decides those boys need to be taught a lesson. Using his mind, he sends a message directly to Eugene's phone from an unknown number. "I'm coming to teach you a lesson." The next morning, Tom starts following Eugene and his gang. He soon realizes they are on their way to meet an illegal dealer. Staying at a safe distance, Tom secretly hacks into Eugene's phone and listens to their conversations through the microphone. Even after the meeting ends, Tom doesn't leave them alone. Back in their room, he begins to toy with them. Lights flicker on and off. Music suddenly blasts from nowhere. Electronic devices glitch without warning. The boys grow uneasy, not knowing what's happening. At the same time, Tom sends Lucy another message from the unknown number. "I will protect you from the ones who hurt you." Lucy replies, confused. "Who are you, and why are you helping me?" Tom reads her message but chooses not to answer. The following day, all the students are gathered in the school auditorium for an announcement. Just before the presentation begins, Tom quietly hacks into the system. Instead of the scheduled slides, a private video of Cash, one of Eugene's gang members, starts playing on the big screen. The entire auditorium erupts in laughter. Humiliated, Cash runs out while everyone watches. Later, Tom meets Lucy. She's desperate to know who is behind all of this. As they stand together, Tom pretends to adjust a nearby radio. At the same moment, Lucy sends another message to the unknown number. "Are you the one doing all this?" Standing right beside her, Tom replies using only his mind. Lucy then tells him the truth about why she was attacked. The gang had been pressuring her brother to join them. When he refused, they threatened to ruin their family. When they finally got the chance, they targeted her instead. She sends another message. Who are you really? After a brief pause, Tom types back through his thoughts. You can call me iBoy. A few days later, Tom and Lucy are walking home at night when Eugene and his gang suddenly block their path. They mock Lucy and demand to know who has been sending the mysterious messages. Eugene grabs Tom by the collar and growls, "Tell the truth. Is it you?" In that tense moment, all their phones buzz at once. A new message appears on every screen. "You're holding the wrong guy, kid." Eugene freezes in shock. Taking advantage of the confusion, Tom and Lucy quickly escape into the night. Now Tom understands one thing clearly. Eugene and his gang will never leave Lucy alone. If he wants this to end, he has to scare them for real. He waits patiently for the right moment. Through their phones, he already knows they're planning to steal a car. The night they break into one and sit inside, Tom makes his move. With a thought, he locks all the doors. The boys immediately panic. The radio suddenly turns on by itself, and a distorted voice fills the car. It's Tom. "Who is your real gang leader?" They refuse to answer. So Tom makes the engine rev wildly. The dashboard flickers. Smoke starts rising from under the hood. Flames begin to spread. Cash breaks down first, screaming in fear. "Our leader is Cuts! We're just school kids! Please let us go!" Satisfied, Tom unlocks the doors. The boys scramble out seconds before the car explodes behind them. But Tom isn't done. Using his growing abilities, he tracks down Cuts' full address, not realizing that even Danny has connections to the same gang. Cuts is at home with his men, casually watching TV, when suddenly the screen changes. A video plays, his own car, and the humiliating moment when Tom broke in and peed inside it. Cuts explodes with rage and storms out of the apartment. The moment he leaves, Tom slips inside unnoticed. He fries every electronic device in the flat and finds the hidden stash of drugs Cuts has been storing. He takes it all. When Cuts returns, his place is destroyed and his drugs are gone. He loses control completely. Meanwhile, Lucy tells Tom she's finally ready to return to school. She says she's feeling stronger now. As they walk together, they talk about iBoy, the mysterious figure who's been targeting gang members and exposing criminals. Tom casually asks what she thinks about him. Lucy shrugs. iBoy is just one person. One person can't change an entire neighborhood. Small attacks won't fix everything. Her words hit Tom harder than she realizes. That night, he makes a decision. If small attacks aren't enough, he'll eliminate crime completely. He already knows who the criminals are. Using his powers, he sneaks into their homes, plants drug packets, and sends anonymous tips to the police with exact locations. Dealers across the neighborhood are arrested one by one. He drains gang members' bank accounts and spreads fear through their networks. Everything is uploaded online under the name iBoy. Even Eugene and his gang end up behind bars. For the first time in a long while, the neighborhood begins to feel safe, but something else is changing too. Tom's powers are growing rapidly. Now he can shut down electricity in entire parts of the city just by focusing on them. He's no longer just a boy with a strange ability. He's becoming something far more powerful. A few days later, Cuts is on the phone with his boss, Elman. Tom secretly listens in. Elman is furious. "You're bringing me losses. No sales, no profit. Fix this, or you're finished." Finally, Tom learns the name of the real mastermind behind the gang. Cuts, desperate to find iBoy and stop the police tips, orders his men to break into apartments across the neighborhood. They steal phones, laptops, anything electronic, hoping to trace the source. The area falls into chaos. Homes are robbed. Families are frightened. The next morning, Tom checks the internet and is shocked. People are blaming iBoy. They say the robberies are happening because of him. Innocent people are suffering. Even his grandmother Nasi loses valuables during one of the break-ins. For the first time, doubt creeps into Tom's mind. He realizes the people of London are exhausted. All this chaos is happening because someone is hunting iBoy. Even if his intentions were good, the consequences are hurting innocent people. So Tom decides to disappear for a while. Days pass. When the gang feels that iBoy is no longer watching, they slowly return to their old illegal activities. Tom stays quiet, observing, waiting. He has grown calmer, colder, more calculating. Grandma Nasi begins to notice the change in him. She worries he might be drifting towards something dangerous. And deep down, Tom knows this is only the beginning. Nasi had already grown worried about Tom. She asked Danny to keep an eye on him and make sure he didn't fall into something dangerous. Around the same time, Cuts was heading toward his car, and from a distance, iBoy was watching. Tom texted Lucy, telling her he would end everything that night, once and for all. Lucy immediately tried to stop him. She warned him that he could get himself killed, and that taking the law into his own hands wasn't right. Tom understood her fear, but he didn't stop. He tried tracking Cuts through his phone, only to realize Cuts had thrown it into a trash bin. The signal was gone. Tracking him seemed impossible. Just then, Tom heard a helicopter overhead. A major accident had happened nearby, and a news helicopter was flying toward the scene. Thinking fast, Tom hacked into its live camera feed. From above, he spotted Cuts' car on the road. Without wasting a second, Tom grabbed his bicycle and followed. Cuts eventually reached a hidden yard packed with massive shipping containers. Inside one of them, he met with his top men to discuss how to eliminate iBoy once and for all. Tom hid in the shadows, watching. He noticed a guard standing nearby. Using his powers, Tom quickly pulled up online videos showing how to silently knock someone out from behind. Memorizing the move, he stepped forward and successfully took the guard down without making a sound. Inside one of the containers, Tom found a huge stash of drugs. Without hesitation, he set the entire supply on fire. Flames spread rapidly, destroying thousands worth of illegal goods. But before he could escape, Cuts and his men surrounded him. They attacked from every side, beating him brutally. For a moment, Tom truly believed this was the end. Desperate, he used the electronic equipment around him to generate an extremely low-frequency sound, sharp and unbearable. The piercing noise hit the thugs' ears, dropping them to the ground in agony. Cuts pulled out a gun and fired. The bullet narrowly missed. Tom ran. On his way home, weak and dizzy, he crashed into a pole and blacked out. The next morning, Tom woke up in an unfamiliar place. He couldn't remember how he got there. Meanwhile, Lucy kept calling him. He had promised to take her to school, and she was still too afraid to go alone. But when he didn't answer, she had no choice. After her exam, she ran into Tom and exploded in anger. He tried to explain that something had gone terribly wrong the previous night, but she refused to listen. Suddenly, they noticed a crowd staring at a nearby building. When they looked up, they saw something horrifying. Cash's dead body hanging from the structure. Tom felt his stomach drop. Later, standing on a rooftop, Tom asked Danny who could have killed Cash. Danny replied quietly, "Cash died because of iBoy." Everything started the day Lucy was attacked. He admitted Cash had been in the gang, but reminded Tom that no one is completely evil. Cash couldn't handle the humiliation. He broke under the pressure. Those words crushed Tom even more. Since Lucy's attack, the entire community had split in two. Some believed iBoy was cleaning up the streets. Others believed he was the real problem. The tension was everywhere. Tom felt like he was suffocating under it all. Desperate, he went to his doctor and begged him to remove the phone fragments from his brain. But the doctor refused. The surgery would be nearly impossible and most likely fatal. Tom walked away with a heavy heart. That night, someone began pounding loudly on his door. When Tom opened it, Cuts' men grabbed him. Behind them stood the gang's true boss, Elman. Nasi rushed out to protect her grandson, but Cuts struck her hard, knocking her unconscious. Elman calmly ordered his men to carry her to her room. Then he turned to Tom. Elman offered him a deal. If Tom worked for him, he could change his entire life. Power, money, protection. Tom refused. Elman didn't like hearing the word no. One of his men shoved Tom to the floor. Elman then ordered him to track Lucy. Using his powers, Tom searched, and what he found froze his blood. Eugene and his gang had kidnapped Lucy. Elman had used his influence to get them released from jail. Tom realized the trap. If he didn't obey, Lucy would die. Then came the final betrayal. Elman revealed that Danny had sold information for a small amount of cash. In front of everyone, Elman humiliated Danny, threw money at him, and kicked him aside like trash. Finally, Elman delivered his threat. "Just like you emptied Cuts' bank account," he said coldly, "you can also fill one." If Tom didn't transfer money into Elman's account, Lucy would die. Tom slowly began transferring the money, pretending to obey Elman. But at the same time, he secretly used his powers to dial the police through Lucy's nearby phone. At the warehouse, Eugene and his gang stood ready with guns. If Tom failed to follow orders, Lucy would die. Lucy tried to reach their humanity. She reminded them that they had all grown up together. She asked how they could fall so low. For a brief second, there was hesitation in their eyes. Then the police sirens echoed outside. Panicking, Eugene's gang smashed Lucy's phone and dragged her into a corner, taping her mouth shut so she couldn't make a sound. When the phone shattered, Tom felt a sharp, painful shock run through his body, like part of him had just broken. Elman immediately sensed something was wrong. He grabbed Tom and took him straight to the warehouse. Inside, while hiding from the police search, Eugene accidentally dropped his gun. Lucy quickly grabbed it. She couldn't pull the trigger. As she turned to run, Elman walked in with his men. Lucy froze. Eugene lunged at her from behind, snatched the gun, and regained control. One of the thugs struck Tom hard on the head, bringing him to his knees. Elman calmly ordered Tom to finish the money transfer. That's when something inside Tom finally snapped. "Enough," he said. He focused on every phone in the room. Elman, sensing danger, immediately threw his own phone away, but the others didn't react in time. Their phones exploded inside their pockets. The blasts injured them badly. Screams filled the warehouse. In the chaos, Eugene lost focus, and Lucy attacked him. Elman, realizing the situation was slipping away, ran outside. Tom chased him, but Elman was faster. He grabbed an iron rod and struck Tom from behind, beating him brutally. Tom tried using his high-frequency sonic power again, but Elman slammed his forehead into Tom's, knocking him unconscious. Elman lifted the rod, ready to deliver the final blow. A gunshot rang out. Lucy had fired a warning shot into the air. She screamed at Elman to stay away from Tom or she would shoot. But when she tried again, the gun jammed. She froze in fear. Another shot fired, this time hitting Elman's hand. Enraged, Elman snatched Lucy's gun, punched her hard, and she collapsed unconscious. At that moment, Tom woke up. Seeing Lucy hurt shattered something inside him. As Elman charged again with the iron rod, Tom released a massive sonic scream, far more powerful than anything he had ever used before. The sound wave tore through the air. Elman died instantly. But the force drained Tom completely. He collapsed to the ground. When he opened his eyes again, he was in a hospital bed. His grandmother, Nasi, sat beside him, tears in her eyes, relieved that he was alive. After returning home, they shared a quiet meal together, something that suddenly felt precious. Later, Tom met Danny outside. Danny apologized sincerely. He admitted he didn't want dirty money anymore and regretted his choices. Tom told him he had caught everyone who hurt Lucy, but he still hadn't figured out who recorded that first video which started everything. He looked at Danny and said there was still time to change. In the end, Tom met Lucy on a rooftop. He had arranged a small, simple romantic dinner under the open sky. For the first time in a long while, they felt at peace. Together, they had brought down the most powerful criminal boss in London, and maybe, just maybe, they had earned their second chance. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more recaps.